Have you ever wondered why embarking on a long-term journey of learning, like preparing for a really tough exam, often feels like setting sail on a vast ocean without a map or compass? You start with a burst of enthusiasm, the wind in your sails, ready to conquer the academic seas. But then, somewhere along the way, the initial excitement dwindles. The distant shore of your goal seems to get farther and farther away. The waters get choppy, doubts creep in, and that once bright spark of motivation flickers like a candle in a storm. Why is it so hard to keep that fire burning when the finish line is miles away and the journey is fraught with challenges? What if I told you the secret to sustained motivation lies not just in sheer willpower, but in understanding the very mechanics of your brain, and then cleverly using game-like elements to make the process much more engaging? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of neuroscience and gamification to unlock the secrets to staying motivated for long-term studies. We're going to explore how you can transform your study routine into an adventure, a quest where every challenge overcome brings you closer to your ultimate academic treasure. Let's be honest, long-term studying can be a real grind. It's not just about the sheer volume of information you need to absorb. It's the uncertainty, the long stretches without immediate rewards that can really wear you down. Think about it. When you're studying for a major exam, the payoff, that feeling of accomplishment, the career boost, the doors it will open, that's often months, even years away. Your brain, however, is wired for instant gratification. It loves those little dopamine hits you get from immediate rewards. It's a survival mechanism from our ancient past. Back when our ancestors were roaming the savannas, they needed to be motivated by immediate rewards like finding food or shelter. That instant gratification kept them alive. Our brains haven't really changed that much since then. This is why checking social media or playing a quick game feels so much more appealing than diving into a dense textbook. You get that instant dopamine rush, that little ping of pleasure. So, in a way, you're battling your own biology when you try to stay motivated for something that's far off in the future. Long-term goals, especially in education, require a different approach. Now, what if we could tap into this very system, this reward pathway in your brain, and use it to our advantage? What if we could make studying, even for the long haul, feel less like a chore and more like a game? That, my friend, is where gamification comes in. This isn't about turning your study sessions into frivolous playtime. Gamification, in essence, is about taking the elements that make games so engaging and applying them to non-game contexts, like education. Consider the elements that make video games so addictive, especially role-playing games. You have clear goals, you level up as you progress, you collect rewards, and you get constant feedback. You always know where you stand and what you need to do next. You have a progress bar. You see that experience bar filling up, and it's incredibly motivating. You can achieve a sense of mastery. Games provide small, achievable challenges that lead to a larger goal, just like levels in a game. Can we incorporate these elements in our study routines? The answer is a definite yes. So how can we practically gamify our study routines? Let's break down a specific strategy that combines the best of neuroscience and game-like elements. First, you need a visual battle plan, a roadmap of your academic quest. I'm talking about a detailed study calendar. Don't just jot down vague goals like study biology. Break it down into specific, actionable steps. For example, read chapters 5 and 6 of the biology textbook and complete practice questions by Wednesday. And create flashcards for 50 new vocabulary words. Review chapters 1 through 4 on Friday. Be specific and use active present tense statements. This is crucial. Having a visual calendar, whether it's a physical one on your wall or a digital one on your computer, gives you a sense of control and allows you to see your progress in a tangible way. It also helps you to be realistic about your time and avoid feeling overwhelmed. Each completed task becomes a visual marker of your progress, fueling your motivation. You are the hero in your study journey, and your calendar is your treasure map, guiding you to your goal. Now let's talk about your daily battles, your individual study sessions. This is where the Pomodoro technique comes in, a time management method developed by Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s. This is a powerful weapon in your arsenal. Here's how it works. You work in focused bursts of, say, 25 minutes, followed by a short break of 5 minutes. This means no checking your phone, no emails, no distractions during those 25 minutes. Just pure, unadulterated focus. After 4 of these 25-minute Pomodoros, you take a longer break, say 15 to 20 minutes. It is a very good way to stay on target. Why is this so effective? Because it aligns with how your brain works. Your brain isn't designed for hours of continuous intense concentration. It needs breaks to process information and recharge. These short, focused bursts, followed by breaks, help you maintain your concentration and prevent burnout. Think of it as interval training for your brain. But these breaks aren't just about zoning out. They're an essential part of the learning process. During your breaks, your brain is still working behind the scenes, consolidating what you've just learned. It's like giving your brain time to save the progress to long-term memory. This is why it's crucial to take real breaks. Don't just switch from your textbook to social media. Get up, move around, stretch, get some fresh air, have a healthy snack, or even engage in an activity you enjoy. Engage in some light physical activity. Your brain will thank you for it. Another powerful weapon in your study arsenal is spaced repetition. This is a technique that's been proven time and again by neuroscience research to be incredibly effective for long-term memory retention. Spaced repetition involves reviewing material at increasing intervals. So instead of cramming everything the night before an exam, you review the material a day later, then a few days later, then a week later, and so on. Here's why it works. Each time you revisit the material, you're strengthening the neural connections in your brain associated with that information. It's like reinforcing a pathway in your brain. The more you travel that path, the stronger and more permanent it becomes. This is a much more effective way to learn than cramming, which might get you through a test in the short term, but rarely leads to lasting knowledge. Spaced repetition is a technique that aligns with how your brain naturally forms memories. And to really supercharge your learning, integrate physical activity into your routine. Exercise isn't just good for your body, it's fantastic for your brain. Studies have shown that exercise increases blood flow to the brain, improves cognitive function, and even promotes the growth of new brain cells. In fact, being physically active is like giving your brain a fertilizer boost. Even a brisk 20-minute walk can make a difference. It is also a good way to reduce stress and anxiety. Now, let's talk about how this all ties back to gamification. Each completed task on your calendar, each successful Pomodoro session, each spaced repetition review, these are your victories, your experience points, your level ups. You can even create a reward system for yourself. For example, if you complete a certain number of study goals in a week, treat yourself to something you enjoy, like watching an episode of your favorite show, or spending time with friends, or indulging in a hobby you love. Make sure the reward is something you actually value and look forward to. It should be something that gives you a genuine sense of pleasure and satisfaction. This is not bribery. This is strategic reinforcement. You're essentially training your brain to associate studying with positive outcomes, just like in a game. And just like in a game, it's important to track your progress. Keep a record of your completed tasks, your study hours, your quiz scores. This will give you a sense of accomplishment and motivate you to keep going. This will also provide you with valuable data. You can see what's working and what's not, and adjust your strategy accordingly. But here is a key element that is often overlooked. Mindset. The way you think about your studies, the story you tell yourself, can have a huge impact on your motivation. If you view studying as a tedious chore, a necessary evil, then it's going to be a constant uphill battle. It is important to celebrate small wins and acknowledge your progress. But what if you started to see it as an adventure, a quest for knowledge and personal growth? What if you embraced the challenges, knowing that each one you overcome makes you stronger and smarter? What if, instead of dreading your study sessions, you looked forward to them as opportunities to expand your mind and unlock your potential? Think about the sense of accomplishment you feel when you finally grasp a difficult concept, when you ace a test, when you see your knowledge growing day by day. That's the feeling of leveling up in real life. That's the feeling of progress, of moving closer to your goals. That's the feeling of winning the game of education. It is the feeling of shaping your own destiny. This journey is about more than just getting good grades. It's about cultivating discipline, resilience, and a lifelong love of learning. It's about proving to yourself that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It will take effort, for sure. It is an investment in yourself, in your future. And remember, it's okay to stumble. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to feel discouraged sometimes. We all do. The important thing is to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. Don't let setbacks derail you. Learn from your mistakes, adjust your strategy if needed, and keep your eyes on the prize. So there you have it. We've explored the challenging landscape of long-term motivation and discovered how the principles of neuroscience and gamification can be powerful allies in your academic journey. We've seen how a detailed calendar becomes your roadmap, how the Pomodoro technique provides a framework for focused work, and how spaced repetition and physical activity enhance learning and memory. We've also delved into the power of mindset, recognizing that viewing your studies as an adventure rather than a chore can make all the difference. Remember the question we started with: why is it so hard to stay motivated when the goal is distant and the path is challenging? We now know it's because our brains are wired for instant gratification. But we also know how to work with, not against, this inherent tendency by breaking down our goals into smaller, manageable steps, using game-like elements to make the process more engaging, and celebrating our progress along the way. We have, in essence, learned how to create our own internal reward system, one that fuels our motivation from within. And if you can do that, you can achieve anything. This isn't just about surviving your studies, it's about thriving in them. It's about turning a potentially arduous process into a rewarding and even enjoyable experience. It is about transforming yourself into a lifelong learner. So embrace the challenge, embrace the journey, gamify your studies, rewire your brain for success. And remember, the greatest adventure is the journey of learning and growth. The power to achieve your academic goals lies within you. Now go out there and conquer your academic quest, one strategic step at a time. You have everything you need to achieve your long-term goals. The only question is, are you ready to play the game?